good to know. I have to figure that out. Just, I don't know,
Yeah,
a
maybe.
year and a half of Zoom, things never talk to me, and all of a sudden it's talking. Okay. So, welcome guys to your practice. Take your comfortable seat. So I'm going to just grab a block to sit on. My heart's going to grab something to sit on. I'm just going to sit in Virasana because I like it. Maybe you sit cross-legged, however is a good place for you. Good. Nice. And then let's just start with a few breaths. We'll just lift the arms up in the air as you inhale. And as you exhale, you can stretch them out. Maybe bow your chin, and let's just do that a few more times. So however you want to lift your arms, however you want to release them, be with your breath. Good. All right, last one, and this time we'll touch the palms together, and as you exhale, release hands to heart, bow your chin. Take a few moments in your quiet. Settle into your seat. And for the next few moments, just follow your breath. Be with your breath. And take a nice full inhale in. Exhale through your mouth. And we'll open with 3 ohms. Inhale. Bowing your chin, release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, all right guys, so we're going to start off with a pose I affectionately call waterfall. And so this is a lying on your back pose. Okay, I'm going to say this too, that if you'd like to take, maybe let's pause for a moment and I'll let you take a downward facing dog or a forward fold. Actually, yeah, let's do that just to kind of move from your day. If you prefer a child's pose or a wall dog, that's fine. And then now as I'm thinking about it or talking about it, I'm just going to run through like a very slow sun salute. So wherever you are, if you're in child's pose, you can stay there. A downward dog. Take one more breath. Okay. And then downward dog, people will just walk the feet towards the hands or the hands back. And if you're in child's pose and you just want to move to hands and knees, you could do that, or you could come up to forward fold. And if you're on hands and knees, maybe you want to take some cat-cows. And if you're in forward fold, just release yourself over your legs. Let your head go. Okay, we're going to take maybe 3 or 4 more breaths. I'm just going to take my hands off the floor and grab opposite elbows and just really hang. Okay, and then if you're on hands and knees, you're just going to slip back into child's pose. And if you're in forward fold, place your hands back on the floor. And let's just come up to standing. So we'll bend the knees, just take an inhale, sweep up. Good, and then exhale, hands in front of your heart. Pause here for a breath in and out. And then we're just going to come back. So we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale and fold. And from this forward fold, let's take the half. So as you inhale, lift your head and your heart. Exhale and fold. We'll come back to downward facing dog. Good. And then we'll all just meet in child's pose. So downward dog, people, whenever you are ready, you'll come down or stay here another 3-4 breaths. Okay, I'm just coming down to child's pose. And if you've been in child's pose for a long time, then you can just bring yourself up to sitting. And just sit in your quiet for a few moments. If you're in child's pose, then you take your quiet here for a few moments. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll all just meet up and seated. Okay, so we're going to start with waterfall. And so that's, you'll take a blanket and make your blanket roll. So I just open it up to this size, and then I like to fold it into thirds first and then roll it up. And this is going to go right underneath the heart. And so you might want another blanket for your head. You just place something there for your head. Then we take the bolster, and that's going to go underneath the knees. Oh, I did bring cream and everything to do foot massage too, but I think I'm just going to put my socks on, and I'm going to slip in a footy. Don't worry, it's going to happen. It just might not be with cream and oil. So we'll just put your socks on if you like. And then because we're going to be here for a little bit, so you just rest, and then you'll rest over here. Okay. So as I come in, I was going to say, put a blanket on yourself too. That's the last thing to do. But as you come in, you might have a little bit of discomfort, and as long as it's not too much, there's a fine balance of discomfort. And if it gets to be too much, unroll or change where you have that roll underneath your shoulders. Yeah, figure it out. And then, yes, we'll cover with a blanket. Okay, eye pillows. So it's kind of dark where we are right now. And in your space, you might not need it. But if your space is lit and very light, then it's a nice thing to do to bring the eye pillow in, to get yourself just, to invite in that idea of pratyahara, of withdrawing the senses. Okay, make yourself comfortable, friends. So if you need to bring your arms down or throw another prop underneath your arms, do that. Otherwise, the arms are open above the blanket roll. So here's the waterfall, is that, head is on the floor, the chest is lifted, and then there's a sloping down to the part of your back on the floor. And then the lifting of the legs, and then the heels resting. Okay, hopefully this feels very nice and supportive, but also like it's offering you a little bit of new flow, let's say that. So I'm just resting here, dropping in. Okay, so I'm assuming by now you're settled and reasonably comfortable. Good. So just receiving what you have offered. So here you are, and we're just going to offer ourselves a way of just dropping in a little more deeply into this shape. So just as you're breathing, and we'll start with the number 10. And you'll just say to yourself, 10, I am inhaling. 10, I am exhaling. And you'll just count down until you're asked to stop. And whatever number you're on, just letting it go. Staying as you are. And just noticing anything that's talking to you. Just allowing and inviting yourself to rest into all of those places. Okay. So we're just going to take the blanket roll out from underneath your back. So you might be able to do that just by grabbing it and lifting your chest and just pulling it out. If you need to roll to your side, do that. And then once you have it out, just rest as you are. You can change where you have your arms if you like. Okay, so just take 2 or 3 breaths here once you've come down. And then we'll bend the knees and we'll just place the feet on the bolster. And it just changes a little bit the angle of your back. So if you'd like to walk your feet apart and drop the knees together, you can do that, or just stay as however you ended up. And again, just drop into your breath here. And so just as we rest here for a few moments, I'm just going to take you back to counting backwards as you breathe until you're asked to stop. I'm just starting with 10. I am inhaling. 10. I am exhaling. Wherever you are, just letting the counting go. And if you'd like to bring your knees into your chest, then that's where we're going next, or you just stay as you are. You can keep your blanket over top and of your knees if you bring them in. Okay, so our next pose is going to be Supta Baddha Konasana. So you just stretch your legs back out over the bolster, and then just use your heels to just pull the bolster in closer towards your hips. Then the soles of the feet will come together, and the knees are going to drop open. And if that's not enough, the bolster isn't enough to support your knees, you could just turn the bolster up, and that might be good for you. So if you want to take a quick peek at the screen, I'm just doing it now. That might be another way. So whatever works for you, find that. Support for the knees and the thighs, soles of the feet together. And then your hands, we're just going to take them and place them on your belly somewhere that would feel a little nourishing. Good. And then just drop back in to that counting of the breath, starting at 10 again. Just letting the counting go. And stay with your breath. Okay. And we'll just start to stretch your little feet. Maybe take your arms over your head and stretch yourself out. Okay. We'll bend the knees, place your feet on your bolster, and just roll to your side. If you have a my pillow on, you can just hold it with one hand as you roll over. And just take 2 or 3 breaths on your side. And then lovingly just come up to seated. And just as we do at the end of practice, after we come out of Shavasana, just take a few moments to just be, to feel, notice. Bless me, thank you. Okay. And gently open your eyes. Okay, so the next pose we're going to do is supported Satuvanda. And so that is, we'll take the blanket that you rolled up, and it's going to go to support your head and your shoulders. So I always like to kind of put it the long way, and it's just folded in half. So it's just folded in the same thing. Just put it down, and then take a moment and just kind of smooth it out if you have any wrinkles there. And then the bolster goes in the middle of your mat, and I'll put one end of it just kind of on that blanket, just a little bit. Okay, then we need a support for the feet, and you could use your 2 blocks for that, or a bunch of blankets too. I'm just going to put my 2 blocks just at the end of my mat here. I'm not right against the wall if you're set up against the wall, and then you'll have your blanket to cover yourself. If you want a little extra padding for your feet, you know that you can also just plop a blanket on top. Okay. All right. So then I sit in the center. Oh, the other thing you might want to do is to bind the legs. And when we add the strap to the legs, it's just so that we don't have to think about it. So it's a strap. The other thing I do sometimes is to take, oh yeah, your blocks, is to take a blanket. So you can wrap your strap around the tops of, like the middle of the thigh, just below the knee. Or you'll take your blanket and you'll just kind of wrap up the legs so they're nice and tight, and that way they stay together. Okay, so so there I'm sitting in the center. My feet are on the blocks, and when you first are sitting, the heels are going to be way past the blocks, because when you lie down, the legs move. So you just be okay with that. Oh, I set it perfectly. Okay, that doesn't always happen. So now I'm lying down, the shoulders are on the floor, the head is on the floor. I feel the bolster at the bottom of the ribs. And if that's not comfortable for you, then, now I have a dog on my leg, so I'm not going to do it. But you would just put your feet on the floor, lift your hips, and scooch that bolster down or up if you need it. Okay. Oh, I just heard it. A little discomfort when you first come in. Same with, I'm just going to grab my eye pillow. Same with any, of these poses. When we first come in, there might be a bit of discomfort. And hopefully we can just, okay, come here, you can come up. You can just be okay with that. You don't bring his bed in between us. He doesn't like it, but I can bring his bed. There you go. Okay. All right. And so hopefully you're settled and your heels are supported. Maybe the feet want to turn out. That's okay. Maybe if you've tied them or you wrap that blanket nice and tight, they might stay with the heels centered. But whatever it is, it's fine. And then the arms, will come out to the side if that's okay for your shoulders. And cowboy surrender a little bit if you like, so the forearms stay parallel with the shoulders. And then you just bend the upper arms. But make sure the backs of the hands are resting. Oh, okay. No, I just did it. So let's just go there. Hopefully you're good. We'll just leave you for a few moments. Experience your pose. Scanning your body for any place you can drop in and release more deeply. If coming back to counting of the breath is helpful for you, you bring it back at any time. Just moving into our final few moments here. So prepare to come out just by wiggling your fingers and your toes. And maybe stretching your arms over your head and your legs, just nice big stretch. And then you'll bend your knees and place your feet on either side of this bolster. And we're just going to take the bolster out and just be on your back. So you might be able to just lift your hips and slide that bolster out in some way. And if not, and you need to roll over, then do that. And once you're down, if you want to stretch your legs out again, maybe they rest on the blocks again or not. But just taking those feet up a little bit higher is going to affect the part of your back resting. Let's drop into this, coming back to more equilibrium. And then after a few moments, if you'd like to bend your knees and place your feet on the floor, and just hang out there for a few moments. And then we're going to bring the knees into the chest too. So you can keep your feet on the floor if you like, or bring them in. We'll just hang out here for a few moments. Okay, so take a nice big breath in, sigh it out. We'll just roll over to one side, and you can hold your eye pillow if you still have it. And just take a few moments on your side. And we'll come up to seated, and we'll just do the same thing. Just sit for a moment or two. Just feel into what's happening. Shift in energy. Quality of your breath. And then gently open your eyes. Okay. So we're going to keep the same setup, and we're going to come into dead bug pose. So I'll just put the blanket here. I'm going to use that to cover myself with again. And we'll take the bolster, and you're just going to put it in the exact same place you had it. Okay. So here, for this pose, you might want to put blankets on either side, depending on what you need. Here's the pose. I'm going to lie down. I'm going to have, it's almost the opposite of what we did. The chest comes onto the floor. You know, this is what it looks like. And then I'm just going to bend the knees and take the knees out If that's not good for you, you could even just do like a version of Baddha Konasana. So I just have my feet resting on that little block setup. Otherwise, you take the knees out and the feet can come in to whatever's moderately comfortable. So legs can be stretched back or you support either side. So you take the legs out. And then I'm just going to grab that blanket to cover myself with. Just put it behind the back. I'll just take it right up to the underarms. And then it's in place. So I come to lie down. This little dog just wants to be loved today. Okay. Okay, yeah, go into your bed. Okay, so then once you're settled and relatively comfortable, then the head can be turned one way or you rest on your forehead. If you have your head turned, I'll let you know when to change sides. So I hope you're comfortable-ish. And then here we go. Just turning your head now the other direction. preparing to come out. Maybe starting by straightening your legs and tucking your toes under, just stretching through your feet a little bit. And then we press ourselves up to hands and knees. And just sit back on your heels. And we're going to come into child's pose. So you can keep the bolster there or take it out or put another blanket on top if you like a little extra. Then we'll just bring it on in. So I might even wrap my arms underneath the bolster as a way of picking it up. And so I have this blanket and I just brought it down low to support the tummy. If that happens for you, great. If not, you can just create what you need. So if you have your head turned one way, that's fine. I'll tell you when to turn it. And you could also just be resting on your forehead. If you have your head turned one way, just change directions now. Just taking your final few breaths here. I'm just going to come up to sit. And as you sit, stretch your legs out either side of the bolster. And let's take a moment and okay. So I'm just going to sit just as we do and support yourself or sit on something and keep your legs out or bring them in, whichever one. Just take a few moments just to feel where you're at. Okay, so whether you have socks on or not, it doesn't matter. We're just going to bring one foot in and you can prop up and we'll just start to give this foot just a little bit of attention. So I'm just going over the socks, whatever works. Just massaging through the middle part of your foot, just getting the toes and the heel and the arch. So, you can use your fingers, maybe use a fist. Just offer this foot some good healing touch. Anywhere that feels good. Yes. Okay. So whatever you're doing, we're just going to keep doing that. And a few more moments. Okay. And then we're just going to give the foot the good old twist. So you grab the top and the bottom and you just turn in opposite directions. Like just give it a good twist. And then also change so if you have one hand on top, then change where the hands are. So just get good. Okay. And that should be lovely. And then just pause, close your eyes, feel into your feet. And then we'll do the same with the other one. So you bring the other foot in, same thing. Just, use your both hands or one hand, whatever you're doing, just give it your best attention. What feels good? And keep that nice relaxed breath you've been cultivating. It's just part of your practice here. Just take another few moments, just do what you're doing. Okay. We'll come back to that, just the big twist. So big twist, top and the bottom, a few times, and then change your hands and do a few more times. Okay. Beautiful. All right, we're going to release the feet. All right, so our last pose before we move into Shavasana, and you could even just stay there, is we're going to do legs up the wall. So I know I didn't say anything about a wall, but if you don't have to do legs up the wall. If you don't want to go to a wall, you just take your blocks and you create for yourself just like a little lift for the legs. So if you don't want to do legs up the wall, then we just kind of take this like high shape and you'll just rest your calves over top. So you'll still get the legs up, just not all the way up. So that's just fine. Okay, and I'm not going to come right close to the wall. I'll use the bolster for my head. I'm going to keep that blanket to wrap with. Wrap the legs up. So you could start in legs up the wall, and we'll be here for maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll let you know if you want to switch into lying down Shavasana, and or you could even just be in lying down Shavasana right now, and that would be just fine too. And I'm going to bring my eye pillow. Okay. Good. So hopefully you're comfortable. Yes. Good. I just see all these blankets and everyone tucking in, so that's perfect. All right, guys. Okay. Again, just resting into your stillness and your quiet. And even though I say stillness and quiet, knowing full well that anytime we take a resting pose, there's a lot going on in our inner world. And we can start to be present to. And that can be a lot of work, can be scary. But it's the process of undoing. So you just think I'm just undoing and relearning how to be quiet and still and to see the value. So with that, friends, just rest deeply into your breath. And if you'd like to bring in the counting as a way of bringing you in, then go ahead and do that on your own. Let's rest well. If you're happy in legs up the wall, stay for as long as you like. If you'd like to transition to lying down Shavasana, then now's the time. Staying in your restful state. Scanning and releasing more deeply any place you can. Staying in your Shavasana rest for as long as you like. If you're ready to come out, then let that start with the breath. Once the breath will guide you, let you know when to start moving through fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. So take your time, friend, and we'll just meet in seated when you get here. So in your seated position, we'll just end the way we began. So we'll just do 3 breaths. You'll just reach up as you inhale. As you exhale, just let the arms come down. Just in a nice, beautiful way of receiving all this energy that's surrounding you. Just be very gentle and soft. And last time, just let your arms lift and lovingly join the hands together, release them down in front of your heart, bow your chin. Just take a moment or two in your breath space. We'll seal this practice with our May We Be Blessed mantra and 1 Om. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. We'll seal that with 1 Om. Inhale. Take a full breath. Bow your chin and breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin and open your eyes. And offer this that you have created and cultivated. And we'll offer this out. Okay, guys, thank you. We're not quite 3 poses. It's very challenging, but I'm doing better. The other thing I wanted to just say to you that, everything I've been reading about restorative yoga and how it's great for like an instant facelift is what I hear. Is, you're relaxing the face, all the muscles of the face. So we all look like 10 years younger is what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. So that is good practice. Namaste, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good sleep, and we'll see you maybe tomorrow in the next class. Love you. Good night, everybody.
It was lovely. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm so glad. Thank you for coming this holiday Monday. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.